Hi, welcome to Simply Scrapping. Narelle here, and today I'm doing a layout for Mad About Mini paper pads. Each month we create using our mini paper pads, or anything basically that's not a standard 12 by 12 patterned paper. So the paper I'm using today is from Stampin' Up. It's called Full of Life 6 by 6 Designer Series paper, and it is so bright and fun, full of lovely bright colours, water wash style, and I really love it. It's so not me. I am more a roses, floral type delicate person, but I really like this paper. I think it's got lots of possibilities. So that's the paper that I'm using today. My theme is goats. Here's my daughter with a couple of goats at a petting zoo somewhere, and she was absolutely enamored with these goats and could stay there all day feeding them. She thought they were amazing. So I'm incorporating this layout with the 31 days of cut files, and I haven't done it every day because, let's admit it, cut files are a challenge and they are very time consuming, so it ain't gonna happen every day. But I have included one today. I went looking on Creative Fabrica for goat embellishments because it's not something that you're going to have much of in your stash, really. I got nothing goat themed paper wise or embellishment wise or stamps or anything like that. So I went looking at my go-to place when I don't have anything that suits, and that is Creative Fabrica. And I first of all found these line of 3 little goats. How cute are they? So I printed them out and then cut them out. Actually they are painted or drawn using my brother scan and cut, but then when it came to cut them out, it wanted to do some really funky things and it just wouldn't do an outline properly. So I fussy cutted them in the end. And then I came across this, which I thought was perfect. Just the girl who loves goats. So this is a cut file, and I backed it in one of the pieces of paper from the 6 by 6 paper pad. I didn't feel like doing each word and element a different colour, so I thought, well, if I choose one that's got like a gradient of colours, it's going to give the same sort of effect that I backed it with different colours, different papers. I didn't want a pattern though, because it would be hard to read the words, so I thought the gradient one was a really good solution. So that is my title, as big as it is. I've already backed my photos, and again I've used that 6 by 6 paper pad because I didn't want just a plain colour. I thought, well, let's make this fun and funky page. I didn't want it more like your farm animal sort of browns greens type of page, because my daughter's got quite a bright shirt on here. The carrots are a bright orange, and then there's these stack of tubs outside the pen which are quite bright. So I thought, well, that lends itself to doing a bright page. So I have backed them both with the patterned paper. Now I'm also going to colour these goats a little bit, just an outline. I don't want them fully coloured and heavy. I'm just going to do a bit of an outline with my Stampin' Blend markers. I also have a couple of die cuts because I don't want the goats overhanging my daughter's head like that. So I want them on a bit of a shelf. So I'm going to die cut some, they're bulrushes, but we're going to pretend it's grass. I've done that before. It's all okay. And then I thought I was going to cut them out of these papers. But if that doesn't work, I do have a backup green cardstock that I can use. And also I'm going to stamp. I've got so many things here. I just like to tell you everything I'm using before I get started, so that, you know, if you have any questions about what I'm using, you can always go back to the start and find out what it was I said. The bulrushes and, oops, down here, and this element down here. So I'm going to have like my goats and bulrushes here, and then an element die cut down here. And I thought I would add in a stamped and coloured flower because I just want something else on here besides just bulrushes and goats sort of thing, or grass and goats. So anyway, that is what they are here for. And then I have a range of embellishments. I don't know what I'm going to use in the end. I know I want something like bright to go along with the page. I've got some self-adhesive sequins, some enamel dots from Waffle Flower, and then these fun flower resin shapes. The bright green would work, and there's also a yellow under the tab. And then I've also got the glossy dots assortment, so I could use the pink and the yellow, maybe the green. It sort of is this colour. So anyway, I will use one of them at the end. What else am I going to say? Okay, yes, so the title here is all well and good. I also got goats, extra little goats cut out from here. And then I did a smaller version first up, and it was just too small, and the letters went all crappy and scruffy and yucky, so I saved the goats from that though. And so I've got these 4 little goats that I might put in the flowers or something, I don't know, but I'm just going to keep them aside for now. Yeah, so as I was saying, putting this on the page by itself, the border gets lost because it's white on white. So I have yellow cardstock here to back it on, to help it lift off the page, and that's why I'm doing the yellow flowers as well, because I've got the yellow cardstock, so I need to bring a bit more yellow in. Is that all I want to say? I think so. Let's just get scrapping, hey? Let's just get to it. Right, so first thing is to back this, this big title. Now I don't have another sheet of that blue. I searched and searched my whole stash, and that was the only piece of that exact blue cardstock I have. Otherwise I would have backed it in the blue. But then I guess it doesn't hurt bringing in another colour. Now I am going to have to cut some of this by hand, possibly the this bit. I had thought of cutting this off, and I thought, no, I don't know. I don't know. When I put it on the page, I might change my mind, but you never know. Whoops. Let me put it this way. Can I see well enough up there? Yes. That's easy. Right. Lining this up might not be too hard. So to get an even edge, I use the very edge of the trimmer here. So you've got this big gap where the blade runs down, and the very left edge of the plastic, I put whatever I'm cutting a mat for, the edge of that on that first, that line of plastic there, and then I know that my border all the way around is going to be even. Sometimes I use, if I want a bigger border, I'll use the black line, and I'll run the edge just under that black line. So I don't bother with, you know, trying to line it up with measurements, because my eyes are not that great and I always get it wrong. Well, that was easier to map than I thought, so let's move that all aside. Work out our placement. Yeah, see, that's standing out much better now. Okay, so this photo, I thought I could actually pop a little bit under that title so that I can fit this one on and not cover up too much of those goats. Alright, so I wanted my goats over here. I am going to bring that down actually, because I wanted my goats more above it, like there, obviously under there. I can actually pop that right to the edge of that blue. Okay, and then I wanted my shelf of these. So it's like they're looking over the top rail of a fence. That's what I'm trying to accomplish. I am going to have a bit of dead space here, so I may have to find a sentiment or something there, like best day or something. I will have to go away and find something for there later. Okay, so let's cut this out. Well, no, first of all, let's colour our goats. Alright, so I'm going to colour the goats, cut these out, and then I'll come back. Okay, so I coloured my goats and I just wanted to do an outline. I don't know if I said that before, but because there's one light goat and a dark goat, that's probably the same one, but they're two browns. I coloured two of them brown, one of them a very light grey, and I just did the outline. I think that's just enough colour. They look quite cool, I think. Right, I also cut out my reeds and this other die cut, which is like a floral edge, I think. And I just noticed some of those bits didn't come out, but that's okay. And I had planned on just putting one of these down here and then one of these up here, and I went, well, why don't I layer them to make it a little bit more substantial? So I really like that effect. And I cut, and originally this one had this up here and this one down here, and then went, well, hang on, there's two lots of pink up here and none down here, so I just did a switcheroo and that worked so much better. And then down here I have more of the little bulrushes slash grass. Okay, and then I also stamped out these flowers that I had from that stamp set, and I was originally just going to use the big ones. Oh, I'm dropping everything. I was going to reuse the big ones. Now, I didn't stamp the whole, I obviously had something in my previous layers in my die that I didn't pop out before I cut the next one. I didn't stamp the whole thing. So the whole stamp, like that, sits there. Okay, so I didn't bother stamping the whole thing because it's not going to be seen. I'm only going to use a little bit. I'm not even going to use all that. And I went, well, actually, that's probably a bit big for there. I can use these down here, and I will chop, or maybe not. Maybe I might leave them like that. So I'll put them on first, I think, and then put the grasses and things over the top. That will work. But there's also a smaller one in the stamp set. So I thought, well, that probably would work better up here than the big ones. So that's the plan. Right, so now I'm just going to colour all these in, and then I'll come back. Oh, before I go, 1 second. See, my brain's all over the place. I did mention before I needed something to put in this gap. Well, I have these little goats. So I thought, I can put these goats here. And I can't decide what colour to do them. So I might blend them just with a ink and a sponge brush thing. I was going to make them all blue because I need more blue, because there's blue in the heading but not really much anywhere else really. So I thought I could make them blue, but then I thought, well, I could do a little bit of a rainbow. I could do a blue and a green and a yellow maybe. So I might do that. So let me do all that, and if I don't like them, then I'll find something else, or I can just, because I've got a spare one, I can just put the one goat there and maybe just outline him or something to match them. We'll see what happens. All right, so I'm going to colour these, sponge these, and I'll be back yet again. Okay, so I've coloured the flowers, and I know I have more here than what I need, but I did it quite simply. There's no shading. I just went over the top bits on these flowers and the base there in the dark Daffodil Delight. The other petals were done in the light Daffodil Delight. Oh, and these flowers on these little ones were just dark Daffodil Delight. And then I've used, what is this, dark Granny Apple Green, just to do the stems on them all. So nothing complicated there, no shading, it's just like colouring in. So that is them done. And then I sponged my 3 little goats, and I've lost one. He must be caught up in there. There he is, he's trying to escape. So we have one in Balmy Blue, one in Granny Apple Green, and one in Daffodil Delight. So they're my little goats. Right, so let's bring the page back and let's get everything assembled. Oh, and I've got my fan on, sorry if you can hear that. It's really hot here in Brisbane today. It's 28 degrees. It's meant to be winter. Hoi, we're going to be in for a hot summer if this is winter. Right. So, first thing I'm going to do is mark where I want this heading, because I don't want to get it in the wrong spot. I'm going to move it down just marginally and then put a pencil mark so I know that's where the top of it needs to go. And because I need to tuck my goats in underneath, I'm going to glue in just in the middle sort of thing. Right, and I also need to tuck that photo in. So there's my pencil mark, and I'm just, oops, make sure that it hasn't gone over the page. Okay, so now I need to put this photo down because it's going to tuck under, and then this one's going to go at an angle, I think. Should I angle this one? Maybe I should. Okay, so let's tuck this one under. Now I don't want to cover too much of those things in the back because that's the whole reason why I chose the bright colours. You're going to have to go up a little bit. Stuck now. Okay, that's where it's going. Then I could, oh, I don't want to cover that one too much. Alright, you're not going to be angled a great deal. Alright. My glue's running out. Alright, you're going to go over the top. And then it's right on the edge there, but that's angled a little bit, so that works. Okay, now those components are down. Next is our cute little goats. Oh, they're so cute. Right, now you measure work out roughly where these go. And it's hard working with these die cuts because they want to keep moving everywhere. Right, I think our goats are going to go there. I want him up a little bit. Don't want his ear. His ear can go over. So, oh, gosh, they're a problem. I'm going to have to get another glue out soon. Alright, you can see I've done this on scrap. I think I attempted it first and it didn't work. Something went wrong, so I redid it. Alrighty, little goats are so cute. I thought they were going to be, sorry, I need to finish one sentence, one thought at a time. I thought they were going to be too big and too bold on the page, but I think because I've coloured them in just with that outline, they are really cute. I will have linked below in the description box this from Creative Fabrica. So, and this, if you want to use them on a page, you can purchase them and download them. Yeah, so both these, the little row of goats and the heading. I don't know if any glue's coming out. I can't see it. Oh, come on. Huh. I'll also have listed in the description box below any of the Stampin' Up! Products that I am using, and I will, any that are retired, I will also list with the item numbers, just with no link. So the current ones will link to my online store. The retired ones, I will have a subheading of retired supplies, and then with the number, so that if you want to find them on the secondary market, you can quite easily search for them. I'm going to have to put that up just a little bit or it's not going to cover. That's okay. I guess it doesn't have to be right on the photos now that I have angled the photos. It's not going to sit like a shelf just above the photos. Let me glue these two together. Then hopefully they won't get caught on each other and they will sit nicely. Oh, and I forgot to turn my fan off, Sorry, did I say that? I probably did. Oh dear, you know me. If you're a regular, that's nothing unusual for me to repeat myself, forget to say things, stumble and bumble over my words. This whole talking, speaking business is overrated. Right, so I want our little goats just to be over in the grass a little bit. And then I had a flower out here. Whoops, I got two there. I sort of don't want them to be cliche, like, I also don't want to cover up their feet. So if I do one over here, I don't want to cover up this dude too much. Oh, that's so cute. Do I put another? I want to put another one, but then that's 4. It's like an even number. Oh, never mind. I want you to be able to see their feet. So what if I don't? What if I just do that? That looks cute. You know, you're covering up his feet too much. No, don't do that. Right, now, can we... Why is it stuck? Alright, glue these. Attempt to glue these. Oh, come on, glue. Why is that not sticking? I did just put glue on you. Stick still. I may have to trim him off because he may... Oh no, that's okay. Maybe I could use this one, just trim him right down. Yep, let's do that. Okay, obviously there's glue on the back of that. Oh, I think that is so cute. It's probably not straight, but you know, that's me. Oh, I like that. That is so cute. Alright, so we're going to recreate something like that down here, but with the bigger flowers, which I am going to have to chop off, I think. Alright, so I'm sorry if I'm off camera. We'll just glue these two together like we did at the top. I think we're going to be right. If I stick them right down the bottom against the white. I don't have one. So do I do a little one? But I don't have a little one. Stuck you behind. Bunch you guys up a little bit more. Oh, I like that. I hate it when things move. Yes, I like that with my, I want to keep straightening that photo. Oh, dearie, 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 dearie. Rightio. I'm going to commit to this. Wait, let me just get the, pop out the bits that hadn't popped out from the die cut. This one to go on the photo just a little bit. And then this one in the middle can overlap those two flowers on the sides. And then this down the bottom, it's pretty. Alright. Cool. Now, we just need our little goats. They're not little. Just trying to work out how to arrange them. Right, I just had a thought. Do I, no, because I want the blue over there. Do I do one there, but turn him around? And then just use two over here? I think so. Which means I need to sponge the other side of him. Because that's a bit of dead space there. So let me grab my green blending brush. Which one was it that I used? I don't know. This one? I'm not going to risk it's got the wrong colour on it. Let's just grab the ink pad. Right. First, I turned him around because I want him looking into the page, not out of the page. So I'm going to stick him there. I think he works quite well there. Finishes off that banner, I think. Oh, they're so cute. Oops. I used to be scared of goats. When I was growing up, I have an uncle who still lives there at Bargo. And the people next to them had a goat farm. And us kids, cousins, my brother and I, would go for an adventure. You know, the adults would sit around talking and doing boring stuff. So we'd go on adventures, had a bit of a, you know, acreage, and we would dare each other to go over into the goat paddock, and they would sometimes butt you, and then it's like, I'm not going back in there. So we'd go up to the fence, and then it's like, yeah, that's as far as I'm going. So yeah, it was fun, you know, the stuff you used to get up to as a kid. Right, so there's our little goats there. That fills in that spot. I know I have a gap there, but anyway, it is what it is. Now Which of these? I think these ones. I don't really want to introduce that colour. I have it here and there, but it's not a main colour, so I think Waffle Flower is going to win the day. Now I just got to work out how to get into them. Oh my gosh. Right. Do you ever finish a page, get to this stage, and even though you've loved all the elements on it, you look at it and go, it's not quite right. So I'm thinking now, I've got this big white space up here. What do I do with that? Like, could I have, or should I have, put the goats on top there? I don't know, but it's worrying me that I have this space up here. Do I do a banner? Maybe I do a banner. I could cut out of here. I could cut a banner. Right, let me do that, because I just don't like that white space there. So let's fill it in. What colours do I want? I think I want the blue. I don't want it too big. Let's do 1.5 inches, because then by the time I cut the tails, 1 inch by 1.5 inches, that's the squares that I'm doing. I'm making this up as I go along, so we shall see what happens. Do I need 3, 4, or 5? Let's bring in a bit of this green and a bit more of that blue. I don't want to introduce too much pink. I've got a little bit there. 1.5 inches. And then 1.5 inches. What do I do? The pink? No, I've got that dark green in the heading, but I don't have a lot of it anywhere else. Alright, so I've got 5 here. I'm not measuring the tails. I am just going to cut in the middle. Hopefully it's in the middle. Up from the corners. So this is probably a longer video than I anticipated. I can't even talk. Anticipated it to be. Do I want just 3 there? And are they too big? One more. Which one? This one. Oh, that's a bit dark and heavy. Okay, I think that just fills in a little bit. Is it disjointed though? No, but I want something to fill in the gap. Right, I'm going to commit. Just do it, you know? Just do it, because you can fiddle fart around. So I probably should say, it's not a very nice term, is it? You can fiddle around for a long time and then still like not be happy no matter what you do, and then it's like, well, do you just start all over again? No, I'm not starting all over again. It just needed something up in this above the banner, I think. Right, so now I'm going to join them up with dots. I've only got 3 of the big ones, so I could put, let's go yellow. Oh my god. I'm going to do yellow either end, or big ones either end I meant to say, and the little ones in the middle. Oh, are they big enough? Or just... Alright, there we go. We have a nice little banner. I think that fills up that space nice. Seems a very disjointed page though, but anyway, I can't do anything about that now. Right, what colour do I want? Too many decisions. Let's do... I don't even know where I want to put them. I know down here. This is easy. On there. I think that is enough. I don't want to put any around here. So, do I? I can put them on. I can't put any down here because it's going to look like the goat has pooped. And we don't want that. I think I'll just leave it at that. Oh my goodness, that was a marathon, wasn't it? But anyway, it's bright and colourful and it's done. Oh dear. So, if you want to see what everyone else has done using the mini paper pads, be sure to check out the list of people playing along down below, and it's really inspirational because there is so much you can do with your smaller paper pads. And this is lots of fun, this page. If you have liked this video, please like and subscribe, and make sure you hit that notify bell so you know when my next video comes out. And I encourage you to get your smaller paper pads out and have a play, because I hope you are inspired by something you have seen me do today. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next video. Have a scrap happy day. Bye bye.